Frankie Torres sat in his apartment on Europa Station, staring at the whiskey glass that had become his closest companion since the Battle of Proxima Ridge. The ice cubes clinked against the sides as his hand trembled, not from fear anymore, but from the hollow ache that came with surviving when so many others hadn't, especially Daisy. His wife had been a xenobiologist attached to the 3rd Marine Division, brilliant and fearless in equal measure. She'd volunteered for a deep space reconnaissance mission into Krell territory 6 months ago. The official report called it a catastrophic systems failure. No survivors. No bodies recovered. Frankie had stopped believing in miracles after that. The door chime startled him from his memories. He wasn't expecting anyone. Command had given him indefinite leave after his psyche vol, and he'd made it clear he wanted to be left alone. He considered ignoring it, but the chime came again, more insistent. All right, he muttered, setting down his glass and shuffling to the door when it slid open. Frankie froze. 2 children stood in the corridor. They couldn't have been more than 5 years old, with wide golden eyes that seemed to hold galaxies within them. Their skin had a faint iridescent quality, shifting between pale lavender and soft blue depending on the light. Small, delicate ridges ran along their temples and disappeared into their hair. They were unmistakably Ellie and unmistakably twins. But what stopped Frankie's heart wasn't their appearance. It was their faces. They had Daisy's smile, her nose, the same determined set to their small jaws. "Daddy," the girl said, her voice small but certain. She reached up toward him with 3-fingered hands. Frankie's legs nearly gave out. What is this? Who are you?" The boy stepped forward, clutching his sister's hand. "We're Mira and Kai. Mummy said you'd know us. She said you'd keep us safe, your mother." Frankie's voice cracked. "Where is your mother?" Myra's golden eyes shimmered with tears. "Mummy's gone. The bad people took her, but she made us promise to find you. She said you're the bravest human who ever lived, and you'd protect us no matter what." Frankie's combat instincts kicked in even as his heart threatened to explode. He pulled the children inside quickly, scanning the corridor before sealing the door. His hands moved to the weapons locker by muscle memory, checking charge packs and activation sequences. "Tell me everything," he said, kneeling to their level. "How did you find me? Who's after you?" Kai spoke, his voice steadier than any 5-year-old should be. "Mummy was taken by the Krell to their breeding facility. They wanted to create hybrid soldiers, human intelligence and Krell physiology. But Mummy was smart. She sabotaged the process. She made us, human where it matters. In here," Mira added, placing a small hand over her heart. "She said humans don't just fight to win. They fight for love. That's what makes them stronger than any Krell warrior." Frankie's mind raced. If the Krell had Daisy, if they'd forced her into some horrific genetic experimentation. His fists clenched. But looking at these children, his children, impossibly he knew what Daisy would want. She'd want them safe. "The Krell are hunting us," Kai continued. "They want to study us, see if Mummy's sabotage can be corrected. But Mummy hid us in a supply ship. She gave us coordinates." "Your coordinates? And your mother?" Frankie asked, though he dreaded the answer. Myra's voice broke. "She stayed behind. She said love makes humans do impossible things. She said you'd understand." Frankie pulled both children into his arms, feeling the alien texture of their skin, the too quick beat of their hearts. They were warm and real and absolutely terrified. In that moment, they were his. "Listen to me," he said firmly. "I don't know what your mother told you about me, but she was wrong about one thing. I'm not the bravest human who ever lived. She was. But you know what? She was right that I'll protect you. No one, not the Krell, not the entire damn fleet is taking you from me." Over the next hour, Frankie learned the full horror of what Daisy had endured. The Krell's breeding program, her months of quiet resistance, how she'd deliberately introduced human DNA sequences that made the hybrids emotionally complex, capable of love and empathy, traits the Krell considered weaknesses. She'd made these children human in all the ways that mattered. And then she'd sacrificed everything to get them out. Frankie's military training took over. He contacted old squadmates, people he trusted with his life. Within 6 hours, he had safe passage arranged to a colony beyond Krell space. Within 12, he had false identity documents for Mira and Kai. As they prepared to leave Europa Station, Mira tugged on his sleeve. "Will you really be our daddy?" Frankie knelt down, looking into those golden eyes so full of Daisy's spirit. "Your mother gave you the most human gift there is, the chance to choose your own path. She made you capable of love in a universe that told her love was weakness. That's not just science. That's faith. Faith in humanity. Faith in me. And I won't let her down." "What about Mummy?" Kai asked. Will we save her? Frankie's jaw tightened. Yes, but first, I get you somewhere safe. Then I'm going back for her, because that's what humans do, we never leave our people behind. Your mother taught me that. As their transport lifted off from Europa Station, Frankie held both children close, staring out at the stars. Somewhere out there, Daisy was still fighting, still surviving, and now he had something worth fighting for again. The Krell thought they could weaponize humanity's strengths and eliminate its weaknesses. But they'd made a fatal error. They'd underestimated what humans would do for family. Frankie Torres was a widowed veteran, broken and lost. But Mira and Kai had given him purpose. They'd given him hope, and they'd reminded him of the truth Daisy always knew. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't strength or intelligence. It was love that could bridge galaxies, and Frankie would show the entire Empire exactly what that meant. The end.